I've been surprised how many are going quite wide and not hitting the apex, but it feels like I'm seeing that less this year, but maybe I'm making that up.
You do a really wide approach, and then I've never found it that big slide from Gasly out of the final corner as well. All four wheels over track limits. Does still improve his time, and actually made up for that mistake at turn 3, and finished up just 0.003 behind Tsunoda. But it's about to be deleted for track limits at the final corner. When I was driving, I never found meeting the apex at turn 3 was that crucial, because there's a real brow just over the top of it, and you struggle to get on the power too soon if you actually go over the crest there right on the apex. You can go a little bit wider. It actually is not the conventional line or the conventional racing line, because you're ending up tightening the corner.
Yeah, I know, I'm gonna get deleted at the snap 10-10.
The snap came when he was already off the track there at turn 10 though. But yeah, that's why you often see the wider line, particularly in race trim as well. Drivers going very wide and not bothering too much with the apex, or if they do, take a very late one, so you're very straight on the throttle. And that's why Charles Leclerc actually had a really strong recovery drive, just dive bombing straight to the apex at turn 3 all the time, and knowing that wasn't the conventional line. You could just put your Ferrari there, either make it through, hug the apex and have a good run out of the corner, so you're either through at 3 or 4, or you're scaring someone off the road as well, as they see a flash of red in the mirrors.
Tsunoda's improving, Raikkonen's improving, Verstappen is coming through the final corner now in the Red Bull, pops open the rear wing and comes charging down towards the first corner, swings it into the right-hander. I wonder if it's a bit of a random thing to think, but when the DRS is closed, it says Honda in massive letters on the back of that Red Bull, and then when the DRS opens, obviously all of that sponsorship disappears and you don't see it anymore. So I wonder if that's something that feels like the kind of thing that in Formula 1 sponsorship terms, suddenly the rear wing, everyone's like, well no, because literally half of the lap I won't be able to see it.
But that could be an eye-catching thing, couldn't it?
Oh, maybe.
You're looking at the moving piece and it keeps saying Honda or no Honda.
Yeah.
Could be, there's marketing value in that, Jack.
Yeah, maybe. Leclerc is at the top of the times in the Ferrari, a 1 minute 5.627, but I think Verstappen's going a little bit quicker.
Miles quicker. 0.6 up through 2 sectors. This is going to be the lap that really sets the pace for now. Time's just been nibbling down. Norris and Tsunoda fighting it out. Gasly got there but had his lap time taken away. Leclerc put a 10th on them, and now Verstappen crosses the line and puts nearly 7/10 on Leclerc. The gap behind is actually really close. From Leclerc pretty much to the rest of the field, up to Mick Schumacher in 19th, there is 1 second, but there's 7/10 from second to first now. Verstappen's done his time.
Yuki Tsunoda has had a bit of a moment in the AlphaTauri. He's had a big old spin at turn 9, got very sideways and very close to hitting the wall. Not dissimilar to Antonio Giovinazzi's spin in the wet last year in qualifying.
Yeah, I don't know, but I got massive stuff.
But you don't get away with that sort of thing at turn 9 very often. Big snap, spin, full sideways, heading down towards turn 10 broadside. But he was close to the wall on the left-hand side, didn't hit it as Giovinazzi did in the wet. Scary moment though for Tsunoda.
.27 minutes to go. Verstappen quickest. 7/10 clear of Charles Leclerc. Just going to do an update into the 5 Live News in theory in a couple of moments' time. Schumacher and Mazepin are out on the soft tyres, so we'll see what sort of lap times. Because Schumacher had a good lap yesterday, didn't he? And kind of almost bothered the midfield. I think he was quicker than Latifi. Mazepin is just coming around the final couple of corners now at turns 9 and 10. Hasn't done a personal best in the middle sector, Nikita Mazepin, but he is still on for a personal best overall. Now, but it's 2 seconds away, and Schumacher is a 10th up in the first sector. He's going to come through the middle sector in a moment, and he's not going to be too far away, I think, from your... Well, It's quite a big jump actually up to Russell and Latifi, who are 9th and 10th. Latifi actually quicker than Russell. 26 minutes to go. Schumacher's middle sector is half a second quicker than Nikita Mazepin. So not a bad middle sector there for Schumacher. Comes through the final couple of corners, out across the line now. Gasly goes up into 5th place and Schumacher goes 12th. So pretty much matches George Russell's time. Russell did a 1 minute 6.150. Schumacher a 1.
Gasly's had another lap deleted. He matched the previous one that got deleted, and it got deleted again for Pierre Gasly, back down to 8th position.
25 minutes to go.
So we'll keep an eye on Valtteri Bottas, who's coming through the middle sector now on a set of soft tyres. So what can he do in response to Max Verstappen? Perez yet to run a soft, was on the back foot compared to his teammate yesterday, down in 11th place. He's back in the pits now and hopefully will stick on a set of softs soon. But Bottas now winding one up. Teammate Lewis Hamilton still in the garage.
Leclerc through the first sector didn't improve, but he is improving overall now on the run down towards the right-hander of turn 4. Over the curb on the exit and really over the curb and onto the gravel and onto the grass, and he has to bail out of it. And that won't be an improvement now for Charles Leclerc. Another driver to just get a little bit caught out on the exit of turn.
Getting onto the gravel, but you're just treading a really fine margin. Trying to keep the gas down, accelerating out of turn 4, but you just catch the gravel, you're in trouble, and Sainz is in trouble out of the final corner as well. Got a big snap of oversteer, so he's not going to improve either. Both Ferraris in the wars on that lap, but crucially keeping it pointy straight ahead.
24 minutes to go. Let's go to our weather correspondent, Jenny Gow.
I have a lot of titles, a lot of hats today.
I'm just trying to make you feel
valued.
Yeah.
Thanks. You do that all the time, Jack, anyway. Just naturally. Air temperature is 20.
Carry on.
The air temperature is 23 degrees. Track temperature 47 degrees, which is actually a fair bit higher than it was yesterday. Now, we saw Mercedes doing a little bit better yesterday because it's cooler. That small sliver of hope that they saw yesterday might have just disappeared if the weather keeps on getting warmer.
Yeah, indeed. It's been, it's actually got hotter as the session has progressed. I think it was 45 at the start of the session.
Yeah, I think the tyres gave up on me there in the last sector.
Sainz saying the tyres gave up on him in the last sector, and both the Ferraris going off on that lap. But yeah, we'll wait and see really, because Bottas, what did he do? He did a personal best first sector and then backed off in the middle. Hamilton is starting his flying lap now.
Yeah, so either traffic or a mistake for Bottas in the middle sector. Hamilton got really wide, bouncing over the curb, exited turn 1, but opens the DRS and continues up to turn 3 regardless. It's a personal best, but he's 3 tenths away from Verstappen and then locks up the right front into turn 3, and it's looking like a messy first lap here for Lewis Hamilton.
Antonio Giovinazzi in the Alfa Romeo out of the final corner. He goes from 17th up to 10th. Albeit 4th. I feel like this sometimes happens with Alfa Romeo, that they look really, really mega, and then qualifying comes along and then they are exactly where you would have expected them to be in the first place. Hamilton continuing to improve, but only because he hadn't really set a lap time before. He's half a second down on Verstappen after the middle sector. Might be able to slot into second place here with this lap. Bottas is 4 tenths adrift after the middle sector as well. So not really much pace on this first run for Mercedes. But it is kind of their first, well, I was going to say it's their first laps of the session. That is true, but it's really Verstappen's first laps of the session. He's only done 6 laps. So Hamilton goes second, Bottas goes third, 5 and 6 tenths a second adrift of Verstappen, respectively.
That's not what we saw yesterday. The gaps really opened up from that first run, but Mercedes, they're only just really on the pace with Charles Leclerc, who actually exits the final corner right now, improves to split the 2 Mercedes with the fastest final sector of anyone.
21 minutes to go. And Verstappen quickest, Hamilton second, Leclerc third, Bottas fourth, Norris fifth, Tsunoda 6th, Sainz 7th, Raikkonen 8th, Vettel 9th, Gasly 10th, and then Latifi, Giovinazzi, Russell, Perez, Schumacher the top 15, Ricciardo, Ocon, Stroll, Alonso and Mazepin, the 20 drivers. 21 minutes to go. Leclerc improved actually on his second or third run, I guess it must have been, and he is in between the two Mercedes drivers now. So Verstappen, Hamilton, Leclerc, Bottas, Norris,